Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be back on the RS2000. We're going to get that passenger side chassis rail and that inner arch on, but we've also got some other bits that have turned up. Right, a few videos ago we put this inner chassis rail and this outer wing on, but we also made this section here. Now, one of the reasons why we didn't weld this section in last time was, one, we ran out of time, but I haven't welded it in as of yet because I was unsure of it. Now, when we cut that side off, it kind of confirmed to me what I suspected. This side had been made up like this from a previous bad repair. Now, what should be in here is a different panel that comes up here, and lo and behold, they've been tracked down and here they are. That's what it should look like on this model of car. Now, you can see this line here. One of the reasons why we didn't completely weld this side in is because what's going to dictate where this sits is this line down here, so that it lines up with the other side and our bonnet. Now, what we had, I've made that a little bit more extreme, but we had a line that went off like this. So for us to get this in line so that it's a proper line and it does bolt up where it should, weld up where it should do, like that, we've had to bring this panel back some. Now, it was right all the way over there, right up to this stop. So what we've had to do is it's not much, we've had to bring it back a little bit to there. So the previous inner arch, or some repair on the inner arch, has brought this panel further this way. So what we have to do now is we have to make sure all this lines up correctly. We do have measurements for the turret top to the corners as well, the original measurements, and we do have cross-reference from here down to this corner and the same that way. That'll let us know that all this is square. We'll also be offering the bonnet up, and when we pop that on, as long as that's square, the turret tops are in the correct position, we do know the chassis rails are correct, so the bottom half is okay. Right, so the first thing we have to do is we have to get this chassis leg back in. Now, we've got a new one, which is good, and it's going to be mounted on what looks like a little bit of rusty floor, but let me explain why we're not going to repair that beforehand. Right, so as you can see, all this floor pan is absolute mullered, but the only bit we're bothered about is, excuse the shadow, is this line here upwards. Now, we have repaired a few pinholes, we are going to tap them back first, and there is some repair in this corner as well, but it's not where a chassis rail is going to be. Now, the chassis rail, get it, chassis rail. Right, so the chassis rail fits like that. Now, all this floor pan we're going to be cutting out. Where this tab is here, we're going to weld that onto the chassis rail. We're not going to go any further this way, and we're going to weld it here where it should be. This is both sides, so we're not going to be welding it onto the chassis rail, onto this floor pan, sorry. We're not going to be welding the chassis rail onto this floor pan. Now, we will weld it here because we're cutting, as I say, all this floor pan out, but not this bulkhead. So it's okay to weld here and here, which aren't moving, but not here, which, as you'll see, a couple of spot welds there, because this is coming back out. But we need to get the structure in place first. And we do have where the chassis rail sits, like that side, we do have this to contend with as well. So repair this, weld the chassis rail in, Then we can think about replacing the inner arch. Right, so that's the chassis rail on. Now, before we can go any further, we've got to make sure everything's going to line up. So before we put this inner arch on, this goes here. What we're going to do is we're going to hang this wing on. Now, this wing, we've left the back edge of this so that it's loose. So that what we can do is we can tack this wing into place. We can make sure it fits around the door and the bulkhead, and then we know this is in line. We're then going to put the bonnet back on and its hinges, lower it down, make sure we've got an half decent gap here. The gapping was never good in the day when they were brand new, and then that'll give us a chance to line this inner arch up. Now, we want to get this line correct again. Now, we do know something in the past has gone off down here, so we don't know if that's moved anything here. Now, the measurements are a tiny little bit off on this side, but that's the original panels, not something we've actually moved. So, wing tacked on, make sure we've got gappings, bonnet on, helps us align this panel. Once we've tacked this on, we can then hang this wing. Maybe not all of it today, but we're going to see how far we get. Well, that's it for this video, guys. That chassis leg is on and all fully welded up. We've managed to get this inner wing on and it's tacked in place. The nice thing is we've offered these wings up and the bonnet. They are only literally virtually balanced on here. So there is a lot of adjustment we can do, and everything is lining up correctly as it should. So we're happy. So if you enjoyed the video, leave us a like and smash that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.